Good morning, traders. Welcome to the pre-market show with with just Peter. I'm running solo this morning, at least so far. Carlos should be here, we hope, at some point soon. Had some family matters to take care of, and we have to grant him that. Fortunately, I'm feeling a little better than I have for the rest of this week, so I think we should be able to have this. We got stuff this morning. We've got earnings. We've got some economic data. We've got some, look at this, we've got some good stuff happening. So the week is picking up with a couple of earnings after the close yesterday, a few more this morning. None of the big stuff that we really look for has come out yet, but it's coming. So that's good, because I like it when the big stuff comes out, because it means that there's changes. And it means that we have extra opportunity to trade. You guys are making me laugh with all your comments. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know actually what I sounded like, because I just sounded like whatever I did in my head. But I'm still stuffed up today, and I'm worried that I'm going to break into a coughing fit with you guys. But hopefully not. And Maybach, Peter, strong like bull. Yes, me strong like bull. Smart like tractor. But anyways, yes, as you can see, we got some earnings. Don't worry, we'll get to those. Let's talk about the there you go, the economic calendar. See, I'm not quite better yet. I still can't even figure out what I'm talking about. But we have a few things that came out at 8:30. So let's just start with those. We had both the initial and continuing jobless claims. Both of those came out pretty much dead on, right? 241,000 was both the estimate and the actual for the initial jobless claims. And on the continuing, 1.87 million was the forecast. 1.867 was, we're talking about 3,000 job difference. That's a counting error. So it's both of those were dead on. So that's not going to have a pretty big, a market impact at all. The other data that we were looking for was on both the retail, basically the retail sales, core and non-core. So the retail sales came out, let me just find the number here. Where was it? Oh yeah. So 0.3% growth was the expected. 0.4% growth was the actual. And on the core, which is interesting, 0.1% was the growth. It came out of 0.5, which is significantly higher. So I don't know what you guys are doing there in the Americas of the United variety, but you're apparently buying more stuff. So keep up the good work. I'm not sure if that's good or not, because, again, we want a cooling economy to reduce that interest rate and continually pump up this market. But maybe the market needs to cool off. But anyways, growth. So if you feel like you spent more money, well, the stats say that you did. So there you go. So retail and core retail up. As I said, core retail up 0.5% was the reported number, as opposed to the 0.1 forecast. We did have another number. I didn't have room to slip it in here. But actually, I thought it was coming out later, but maybe I got the time wrong. The Philly Fed manufacturing index was out. It actually was significantly higher than expected. 4.2. This is a relative scale. Was the expected number. The previous number was 1.7. 4.2 is the forecast. 10.3 was the actual, which means that the Philly Fed came out a lot higher than expected, which shows that the manufacturing is increasing, which actually contradicts some of the earlier economic data that we had. So I don't know what to make of that, but it is showing change. So we're getting some mixed pictures here, right? Over the last few days, really the markets are generally saying, not much going on. At 9:15 this morning, we do have industrial production and capacity utilization that are coming out. Then at 10 a.m., we have the business inventories and home builders index. All four of those, I would say, are secondary indicators, but be aware of them, especially if you're in a trade like I see Jared is, continuing to trade as low floats. It's been like low float palooza around here the last few days. We started with a drug, and then what was the one yesterday you guys were looking at? Did I write it down? I can't remember. What was the one you got? ATNF. That's it. ATNF yesterday, and today apparently the chosen one is Nix. So, all right, you know what? You go for it. If you can make money off of it, then all power to you. As we said, there's nothing wrong with trading low floats. It's just it can be tricky managing the risk reward. And I will say, by the way, if you're having a good week and if you've traded one or more of these, we've seen a few of them. Again, all three of those that I mentioned, Drug, ATNF, and then Nix today, have had a similar pattern where they just do the go up, until about the open when they all seem to falter. Take advantage of that, but know that that's not always the case, right? You may hit one that just lets you down, and you're going to get in, and the thing, instead of going from $8 to 11 like Nix has, it's going to go from $8 to $3, and you're going to wonder what the heck happened. Why did it stop working? And it can happen. Just make sure that you're protected on the downside, and don't be afraid to abort if it doesn't do what you want. So I'm always cautious on these because I don't meet my risk profile, but it doesn't mean that there's not good trading out there. So go for it if you like them. All right, let's get to the bigger stuff, I'll say, that we tend to watch, and we'll get back in here. By the way, markets over the last little while sitting at these all-time highs, or at least the SPY is. The Qs, I don't think, still haven't quite got there. My brain's been in a fog the last 2 days, so I need to catch up. Still not at all-time highs there, but certainly on the SPY, like we were just looking at, sitting right in this all-time high range. And this morning, it looks like we're going to open at all-time highs. So crazy stuff, man. It's like this market just can't get shut down, at least parts of it, right? It's been what, 14 years? But especially recently, where you'd think there's every excuse for the market to stop or move sideways or down, one part of the market is always climbing higher on the ladder. It's pretty amazing. All right, so let's take a look at our gappers list, see what we got going on. And there's going to be some low floats on this bad boy, because I'm seeing them right away come here, like Shift Pixie, one of those ones that I don't tend to take too much of a look at. It is absolutely a low float, with only 500,000 shares in the pot there, and then 500,000 shares really means that it's going to trade absolutely like a low float, and we can see that this morning, 4 million shares traded. So it's basically turned over its float 8 times this morning, which really means there's not actually that many shares. So it's really turned it over many more times than that. And they're moving this morning because they made the announcement that they are acquiring a company called TurboScale, which, is in the right industry, because while they're a staffing services company, this Shift Pixie, this TurboScale is, and I'll read here, a cutting-edge AI technology company specializing in scalable GPU cloud infrastructure and AI model deployment. Did you understand that? It doesn't matter. What did I say twice in that line? AI. Hence, Shift Pixie is up 170% on 4 million shares, where it closed at only $5.50 yesterday. We're currently trading at around $15. So there you go, buzzword bingo. If you ever were in a corporate meeting, we used to produce those little cards of buzzword bingo when we got really bored, and see how many the bosses could check off. It was dangerous but fun. I guess that's what made it fun too, because if they caught you with one of those cards, they would not be happy. We call it bullshit bingo, but anyways.
Peter, just letting you know, we're rebranding the show.
Yeah.
It's Bear Bull Traders AI.
There you go. We need to do that. Absolutely. We need AI Carlos.
AI Carlos is currently under development. We need more GPU power.
Okay.
He said
all right.
He should be there in 10.
All right. There you go. We'll get AI Carlos online, and then the show will be good to go. All right, guys. Well, I got to move a little bit faster, but Shift Pixie, another low float. So I said low float palooza going on out here. If you like it, go for it. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to be watching this, but you got to let you know what's happening. All right, let's keep moving on here. GSBC is the next one on my list. A lot of these I'm going to have to just blow through because they're going to be horrible. I noticed that one's an example. PHUN back on our list here. Look at how it's moved the last few days. Look at these crazy candles, right? Which means obviously it's been gapping significantly, but then closing pretty much where it started. So has fun been fun? Well, by my estimation of trading, if I go back, look at yesterday's trading day. This not fun, right? That's just terrible trading. Hard to get a foothold in that, and it's something that you want to be very careful of. So I don't think that's something that you want to spend much time on, in my opinion. So I'm going to keep moving here. The next one I see is SMCI, and we know that the semiconductors can often be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about one in particular that hopefully is on my gappers list at some point. Where is it? I see all the other ones. Look at all the semis on my gappers list. Micron, AMD, Nvidia. But not the one I want to talk about. So, all right, let's talk about SMCI first here. SMCI is moving this morning, largely because the whole market is moving. It just happens to be moving a little more aggressively than the rest. It is up about 4%, and about 1 million shares traded. But they're all moving, I think, because of our friend TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, one of the big boys out there in the market. And Taiwan Semiconductor doesn't often move much, but TSM is driving this semiconductor market higher. It is up 8.8% right at the moment, almost 4 million shares traded. And they had earnings and had a good earnings quarter. They beat their numbers on the quarter. And it's surprising for me to see them gapping up. They basically gapped up right to the $200 mark, you can see here on the chart, and then continued higher so far in the early morning trading session, which is quite phenomenal. I get that the earnings are good, but we have to remember there are still war games being put on, executed, being done by the Chinese government off the coast of Taiwan, which is a high risk for them as a business, and of course Taiwan is an independent state, but TSM continues to run their business as they need to, and they're moving forward. So we'll see what happens with it. But right now they are absolutely pushing this industry higher. As I said, they had some good news on earnings, and everybody's hoping, of course, that's going to be indicative of yet another good quarter for the chip sector overall. So TSM, I don't normally recommend that you keep an eye on. However, today it is absolutely the catalyst, and I'm going to be putting it on on the list. Andy, probably not. There's probably many things I said that means I can't ever go to China, which is a shame. But you know what? I wouldn't consider it in the short term anyway. So, all right. So there we go. TSM is moving, and it's moving others. So if we flip through them, if I look at Nvidia, right, it's up 3% with 11 million shares traded. I look at AMD. It's up 2.5% with 1 million shares. Micron was on the list, right? 500,000 shares, 2%. So, they're all moving, and it's all because of the TSM catalyst. So pick whichever ones you want. I'm definitely putting TSM just to watch on my list. But, of course, I'm going to have my good old favorites with NVIDIA and AMD as well. All right. That was one of the big earnings that I wanted to talk to you guys about anyways. What else do I see in the list here that I want to talk about? Wolf was on the list earlier this week. I see it back again today. 600,000 shares traded. It's up just, it's up 4%. It actually had a good trading morning yesterday. I know some of our members in the room were watching it, keeping an eye on this thing. It did actually have, decent movement. Again, it's being in the semi space. It's probably being pushed by the same catalyst today, whereas yesterday it was running fairly independently. All right. Oh my God, look at all the semis. Applied Materials, Broadcom, they're all in here. So how about AA? That's one that is not part of the same industry, Alcoa, and I think they had earnings after the close yesterday. I seem to remember people talking about them. They did have earnings after the close, and it looks like they had their profit was very strong, a lot stronger than expected, so they beat the forecast, which is why they're gapping up the 1.6%. As you can see, they're actually up a lot more earlier. Big gap after the close yesterday. Have been unable to hold it here pre-market as it's been dropping back down. But this is a NYSE stock, trades on the New York Stock Exchange, and therefore you don't expect big volume to happen pre-market. But with the good news, Alcoa doesn't often get the chance to trade on good news. So the fact that they had decent earnings, they also got an upgrade from B. Riley Securities, put their price target around $50 on this and rated them a buy. So that's good that they had both the upgrade and earnings. So if you like Alcoa, by all means. For me, maybe I'll put it on a secondary. I like to watch it just to see what it'll do, but I very rarely trade it. But I'll probably keep an eye on it, just for fun, because you never know if and when it might move. We got to take a note on that one. All right, that's what I had in total for the gap up. Other ones that I wanted to keep an eye on for this morning. BX is one that we don't often trade. Blackstone, because they just don't get volume, right? We only have 37,000 shares. This is Blackstone Inc. Influential overall in the market, but not from a trading perspective, right? Their stock doesn't trade very well. So it's not one that I normally put on my trading list, but I like to see how they're doing earnings-wise, because that can influence the market overall. And today they showed that they had a good quarter. They beat their numbers and are gapping up. So that's something that I like to see. That's it that I had for the gap up. I've got no one else to ask about other stocks, so hopefully Carlos will get here and sidekick me. I've got a couple on the gap down that we can talk about, but we'll get there. Let's look at our actual gap down list first. See what we got going on here. I'm seeing a whole lot of stuff that I don't like the look of. So I'm going to jump right down to Uber. Uber is gapping down 2.7% with about 1.4, just under 1.4 million shares traded this morning. Why are they gapping down? Looks like they got a downgrade. Daiwa Securities? I don't even know who these guys are. But anyways, they did get a downgrade. I'm not sure how serious to take this downgrade, because they downgraded them to a neutral status, but kept their price target at $84, which would have been at yesterday's price roughly, but it's below the current price today. So anyway, I don't see any other news on Uber at this point. But they are gapping down. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yep. Nope. Don't see any other news. All right. That's what I got on that. I see somebody. So what else we got on this list? Neo. Wow. I haven't seen Neo on the list in forever. What's Neo doing? Ugh. Look at Neo. Look at this. This looks horrible. Horrible. All right. I haven't talked about this in a while, but if you ever see stocks that trade like this, yeah, this is a garbage truck for sure. If you ever see stocks,
we got Carlos.
Oh. Yeah, Carlos. Hey, Cyber Carlos.
Hey, welcome. Good morning. How you doing? Yes, Cyber Carlos.
I'm great. We decided your AI, because we need the boost from AI. So welcome, Digital Carlos.
Sorry,
he's going to sound pretty real, because we've got an excellent AI engine going here. So
that's awesome. Good morning, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better than I have this week. So I said not 100%, but I may clear myself for trading today. I think I might be ready to get back in the game. So.
All right, awesome, man.
So
all right, I'll let you finish up where we were, and then you can fill me in on where do you want me to continue.
Sounds good. We were just going through the gap down list. The last one I was going to look at here was Neo, and as I was saying, guys, because we haven't talked about this in a few days, just see this one. Look at between 8.15 and 8.30. See how this is a 1 penny range with green candles, red candles, and basically neutral candles. Whenever you see a stock that's trading within a 1 penny range and looks like a barcode, basically, I mean, this looks like a sort of like a lovely barcode. I don't know what I would buy if I scan that, but what I don't want to buy is this stock. Stay away from any stock that looks like this. It means it's just being traded between the computers and no one else is interested in it. You do not want a part of this. You can't trade and make any money at it. Stay away. So Neo's on our list this morning only because it's gapping 2.7%. But when you get price action like this, right, danger, Will Robinson. Stay away. Don't go anywhere near it. All right. So, Carlos, we're in the position now to start looking at stuff that people were talking about. I skipped over a lot of stuff on the gap list because I have a lot of garbage on my list. Unfortunately, I don't have the pretty clean one. But I see somebody mentioning Mara. So why don't I start there, and then I'll let you jump in with anything else you're noticing. We had a good day yesterday on the Bitcoin. I mean, a good trading day. Bitcoin didn't actually move that much yesterday, but a couple of Mara and Coin were actually moving in a tradable fashion yesterday. If you look here, they were making moves that you could get some value out of. A sort of little sketchy at the open, but after that, they were making some decent moves. Because I know a couple of people in the room were calling them out. I think Coin was being traded by Megan, and she basically had a little trouble with it at the beginning, but then got her act together. Those are her words, and made some profit. I think she got in around 200 down here. She was saying, or maybe it was 204. I can't remember which. But anyways, she traded up through to the highs and held on here. So she had a decent day on it. So hopefully you did as well if you were touching it. Like we said, though, the Bitcoin prices, if we look at the price of Bitcoin, it hasn't done much over the last couple of days here. Let's go to the daily chart here. You can see it's been sitting around the 68,000 range here and hasn't moved much. I was hoping that we would get up higher over 70,000, but a lot of these moves, like I said before, happens on the weekend. So we might have to wait till this weekend to see if it can get another little push higher, but it's a mystery as to what exactly moves Bitcoin, so you never know what's going to happen with it. All right. Oh, see, there you go. Megan's jumping in saying Coin has paid the bills. So there you go. She had a good day on it yesterday. All right, Carlos.
Yeah.
Welcome, and anything you want to take a good look at.
Yeah, let's take a look at the chat. I'm starting to look at YouTube and also our members tab and see what you guys like, and we'll hop into some of those. I agree with Megan. This is where we talked about yesterday, right? Megan, Mara, and Coin, they both can take turns, but looks like Coin yesterday was they both in play, but Coin was much cleaner, and that was really nice there. So hopefully take advantage of it. Let's take a look at SMCI from Philip. Let's see how we're doing here. SMCI this morning. I heard a little bit you talking about tech, Peter, right? Tech stuff is in play. I think this is one that looks good this morning, up 1.1, 4.3 million shares traded. So yeah, we'll add this on my list here as well. But that does look good.
Yeah, we did look at it.
Watching that one. Yeah.
We did look at it, as we mentioned. Basically, the whole semiconductor sector. You see pretty much every semiconductor on our gap up list, all moving because of Taiwan Semiconductor that had earnings overnight and had some good earnings. So they gapped up. TSM gapped up a little over 8% and is actually trading fairly nicely this morning. And the rest of the chip sector is just being dragged along in the wake.
Yeah, I mean, I like TSM today. Normally not a great one, but today looks good. 4.1 up 10%. We'll add that one to the list as well. I also have SMCI. Daily looks good on this one. Decent volume. Could be the day today, man. We'll have to see where that goes.
Some combination of those letters.
Yeah, some combinations of those letters in the right order is what you need them. Sometimes we have the right information.
It's scary when you get them in the wrong order, right? And then you get the wrong stock and like the other day we were talking about the low floats because it's low float palooza. Jared's trading another one today, but there was that stock that we were trading ATNF, and people in the room were putting ANTF, and I started typing it wrong, and I was like, am I watching the right thing? I don't even know. And it's the same thing with what's the other one? Tesla. Oh yeah, Tesla and TLSA.
Tesla has one. Yeah,
Yeah. And,
TLSA. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Scary
and there's
stuff, man.
another
Don't want to do a
combination
typo
of it
there.
that, yeah. Anyways, yeah, don't get them wrong, or suddenly you're trading the wrong thing. Every once in a while, we'll see that on the gap list where you get like a stock, something's moving and there's something very similar, but with a different order of letters or something. You're like, are people just trading the wrong thing? Like, I honestly, some days, especially pre-market, I think that's what happened, right? They hear news, they type it in wrong, and just enough people do it that it gets volume and jumps up on the gappers list. So, anyways,
Would not shock me, man. Would not shock me. Maybe not so much now, but back in the days, remember you had to like send your orders in, right? Well before my time, you actually manually had to send your orders in or call them in,
old
right? You
order
had to
sheet.
call them in, right? You
Yeah.
telling the person that the wrong ticker, like, no, this is it. You sure, man? Yeah, buy it now. It's my account. Buy it now. This is the ticker I want. You sure it's not this one? No, it's that one. And next thing you know, you're in the wrong trade. So, um, hopefully, it doesn't happen much now. All right, so yeah, so tech in play, guys. I will be looking at Nvidia. Nvidia looks awesome today as well. AMD also in play. I mean, it is. You're not kidding, Peter. It is tech heavy this morning. I'll have Nvidia on deck here. 11 million shares traded up 3.1 right now. I mean, that is just on fire. So, are we hitting all time highs? We're just shy of all time highs for Nvidia. We're very, very close right here around 140ish, 141 or so. So NVIDIA is looking good. I got TSM, I got SMI. I'm going to put AMD on my secondary for now. And let's see what else you guys like this morning. I see BBT team is mentioning Baba. What's going on with Baba? Chinese stocks, the fun over for a little bit at least, right? So pulling back, you see Baba here gapping down 1%, 376,000 shares traded. NEO, we spoke about, Peter kind of spoke about that already. And then we have KWeb. What do we have here with KWeb? Also down quite a bit. So a couple of tickers on the Chinese side down this morning. I mean, they're all on the list. Futu, I see all of them on here. You could pick your favorite, but they haven't been really getting the volume, right? So Baba, as you know, is my favorite one. If I look at Baba this morning, we are down 1%, 376,000. And then if we look at PDDs, my other second favorite, also down 2%. I'm going to put them as a possible. They've been fun to watch. But again, I think the trading has not been all that great in the last couple of days on the way down here. On the way up, it was a lot of fun, but on the way down hasn't been all that good. All right. I think that covers it, guys. Anything else that we haven't looked at? Nix and
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk Knicks for a second,
yeah.
because this is one that it was the latest low float. Maybe if you could flip to a 1 minute chart, it really shows the scale of the problem here. And this is what I was warning you guys about just a couple of minutes ago. So, if you catch this on the upside, right, we've been watching a couple of low floats this week, and Jared's been trading them like a boss and making some money. But again, you got to sort of be lucky as well as skilled to get on the right side of this. And this one, like we had some of the others that went from like $2 to $60. Doesn't look like Knicks is going to be one of those today, although it could take off after the open. But if you got in this morning at 10, thinking you're taking it to 20, you're right. You could have had a rough moment when it dropped from 1150 to 950 in the matter of seconds, right? Then it stayed flat and then dropped another $2 in a matter of a couple of seconds. So you got to be very careful on these things, right? You get on the wrong side, they can be shocking. So this is why we talk about the risk to reward. Again, money's to be made here, but you can also lose money. So I just keep cautioning everybody. Just be aware of the risks. You could trade anything if you've got the proper risk management for the situation. That's all I'm suggesting, is that you be very well aware of it, that despite it being a $5 stock at the close yesterday, this is one where you might have to have a $2 expected risk on the downside, so you don't get completely shocked and you size your position appropriately. Because if you think, I can get this and I'll only put a 20-cent risk on it because it's just going to go up, and then this thing suddenly drops a buck or two, right? I mean, that's not a good way to start your day. It's not a good way to, it's not a good time any part of your day. But anyways, enough of the fatherly warnings. I just this is a good example where you made your money if you did it well, but you could also get real surprised. So be careful.
Yeah. Let me see here. Over on YouTube, we do have a question. Yeah, so question here: are semis on your list for long or short? We don't know. They're here because they're in play. they can be either one. Doesn't really matter. We'll have to wait for the price action. I'll give it a great example. Look at Meta yesterday, right? So Meta, if you look at the pre-market action, I think it was yesterday, the day before, it started strong and then just ended up selling off completely. So you really got to wait for the price action to dictate that. I mean, sometimes we see these strong stocks, the market opens, there's a lot of profit taken, right? And you might have a great play towards the downside, or it might stay strong, it might continue higher. So you really don't know. I try not to have a bias. Obviously, this sector is very, very strong today, so I expect there'll be some more moves to the upside. But don't be surprised, like an Nvidia, where you're close to the all-time highs. Apple did this the other day too, where it was close to all-time highs. Had to hit it right to it, then a big sell-off after that. So you really don't know. Got to really look at the price action on what's going to happen here. All right, friends. Anything else? So we looked at Baba, we looked at Neo, we looked at. Let's take a look at Google. Go ahead, Peter.
I was going to mention. Well, let's look at Google first, and then we can go back to another one here.
Yeah. So Google this morning, again, got a little bit of volume, pretty much flat right now. I'm not a big fan of the way Google trades. You did mention, so I'm going to skip on that one, but it could be in play depending how the market moves today. Apple, on the other hand, I do like the way Apple has been moving over the last couple of days. This daily, I know, looks a little bit weird, but the intraday action has been a lot of fun to even watch and trade here. So I'm going to be watching Apple. I think they're moving well today. They're up almost 1%, got some decent volume. Pre-market looks a little bit crappy at the moment on the 5-minute, but I think that's gonna get better. And Peter, you had another one on deck?
Well, we looked at Uber a little bit earlier, and I said, I didn't see any news on it, but some news has just come out in the last couple of minutes, last 10 minutes or so, that looks like they're exploring the acquisition of Expedia. So not surprised about the directional movement here. So Expedia, EXPE, is the symbol on that, which would be the acquired company. And you notice they're gapping up. They're up about 6%. Low volume so far, but they are gapping up about 6%, while Uber is actually gapping down, which, as the company doing the acquiring, that's typically what happens, right? They move down a little bit. Now, that being said, the initial view on this actually would be a very good move for Uber. So interesting. I don't know exactly how they would incorporate that or what their long-term plan would be, because a little bit different market, right? I mean, the Expedia more on the travel side, where Uber is the one that fulfills once you get to the destination. I mean, I can certainly attest to that, right? I mean, when I've traveled a few places recently, I use Uber to get around the town. I use Uber to order some food. I'm certainly not using Uber to do my travel plans, but makes sense. They might want to move their way up the chain. I know they've been getting into car rentals recently, which does put them in that travel market a little bit more. So, it's an interesting move. So that seems to be the news this morning. I think that's going to put Uber in play, one or the other. Will it gap up or down ultimately, right, when the big money comes in after the market opens? I don't know. Remember, Uber's one of the weird ones that it's a tech stock but trades, or I consider it like a tech-like stock, but it does trade on the New York Stock Exchange. So, which means that we're not going to see the volume until after that market opens. So just be aware of that. But yeah, I think we got to put Uber on the list here to keep an eye on, because it's likely to be in play with that news. Especially, this is going to be news driven too, right? It's just a rumor that they're looking at buying Expedia. I haven't seen either company deny it, but Uber could come out, or Expedia could come out with a statement which would cause this thing to move, either in support or denial of this. We could get details on the offer, whether it's friendly or not. Like, we don't know a lot. So again, this is one where you got to be careful, because it could be happily moving. Either one of these stocks could be happily moving in one direction, and then do an about face if the news comes out that pushes it against that. So could be fun.
Yeah, I like the volume on it right now, 1.5. It is down 2%. So yeah, Uber definitely one to keep an eye on. That's great news. And again, the fact that nobody has confirmed or denied it makes it even more exciting if anything can break out and see some action out of it. So yeah, like Uber today, and has been trading well. Like, Uber normally doesn't move, but look at the last couple of days, right? We are actually getting some movement, especially after this big gap up, this big rally all the way up to 86 from like 81.50 or something, and then the drop in the next couple of days, right? So it has been trading well. I like it this morning. Hopefully we can get some good action out of it. All right, let's do one more and then two more, and then we'll head over to our community events and announcements. Let's look at Netflix. Someone mentioned this in chat. Netflix right now, no volume. Tough stock unless there's any big volume or news, and usually it just doesn't trade very well. So be very careful. Again, very, very light volume. So I don't see anything great here. Let's look at United Airlines. We know the airlines have been very exciting the last couple of days. United had a great day yesterday, and today they're pretty much quiet. They're up almost 0.5%. Very light volume, which is typical for them. If you guys remember yesterday too, they didn't have great volume at the market open. It's usually when they get their volume here, and they did well yesterday. So possible second day play, maybe some a pullback here. That is a big extended daily candle we have here on United. So is it heavily in play? No, I'm going to put it on a secondary for now. I don't think it's heavily in play at the moment, but I think it's worth watching as a secondary. So good one mentioned there. And then, Peter, let's go over to our community events announcement for this Thursday. We'll come back and get some levels on our heavy tech type list that we have this morning. So we'll see what we can pull off from that.
All right, sounds good. It's Thursday today. Excuse me. I can't believe it's Thursday. This week has just gone away from me, but that's what happens, I guess, when you sort of go through a fog of sickness that I've been in for the last few days. Plus, it was a holiday on Monday here with the Canadian Thanksgiving. So, yeah, this whole week has been weird. But anyways, it's Thursday, which means that we have a bunch of mentorship sessions starting at 11 a.m. with John, who's going to be doing his usual mentorship session. Great opportunity to get your questions answered in a relatively small group. Then we've got Jared and Megan, who are going to talk options at 2 p.m. We got Lenny, who does his session at 4, and then Thor with his ever-popular session at 8 p.m. tonight. Small Forces is calling me out on my bad language skills. The fog of thickness, yes. Thick fog. Anyways, you know what? You know what I mean. Stop picking on me, man. So I've been pushing through here, doing my best. If you want to join us at the Bear Bulls chat room, we'd love to have you. You can join any one of the membership options, either just for $1 if you're listening right now, use the bearbulltraders.com/YouTube, or you can use the basic or elite monthly packages, or of course the elite annual. Any one of those. Carlos, I just realized I'm going to be trading live with our boot campers, Peak Capital Boot Camp. Supposed to be over there with them at 9:15. So just be aware of that. I'll be over there trading live. So if anybody's in the Peak Capital Boot Camp, I will see you. But that means I'm going to have to be out of here pretty lickety split. So I might leave you to greet our live traders this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways,
we're good on the announcements. We can set some levels. I can, help you let everybody know what our moderators are trading.
All right, you got it, man. So moderators, get those tickers in if you haven't done so already, so we can take a look at what the team is watching. Heavy on tech this morning, guys. SMCI, TSM, Nvidia, Apple, Uber, I consider somewhat of a tech company. And then towards the bottom here, we do have United Airlines, AMD, again, a little more tech there. And then BABA and PDD on the Chinese side of things. No low flows on my list this morning, but if you are a low flow trader, there are a few on here lately. Again, a lot of low flow stocks sticking out on the last couple of days. There's a few that you can look at. Pixie's one of them, dropping back down here. Hard to borrow. Usually no shares for sure on this stuff. And again, we just can't stress enough how careful you need to be. I know you heard it a million times. We won't get tired of telling you, because we know how many people end up blowing up their account or taking a big hit, chasing these low flow stocks that look very, very attractive. So just be careful. All right, let's get some levels in. Let's look at SMCI this morning. Out of all of them, this is probably my least favorite. Now that I looked at TSM and Nvidia and Apple, they just look much, much better. So I am going to move SMCI down. I will move that down this morning. It is in play. I just want to have some room for other things that might not be tech related, or semis at least. But we have a TSM, Nvidia, Apple, and Uber, and then maybe BABA or PDD. We'll see. But let's do these 4 for now. I'll fine tune this a little bit later as we get closer to the market open. All right, TSM guys. high flying this morning, up 10%. High of the pre-market 206.08, so we'll slam a level there, and then towards the bottom, we're looking at the low of the pre-market down at 195.67. Again, these two levels play a very important part during the intraday. This is why we mark them down. I mean, they're really, really good to have here. Are we sitting all-time highs? I did not notice this. Is that the case with TSM? I believe it is. Just going to go back here a bit. Okay, let's go to a monthly. It is. Wow, very, very nice. Okay, so I did miss that. So that's your all-time highs, 206, man. Wow, nice, very nice. All right, that makes it even more interesting. Then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. You really have no levels within this area here because we blew by the previous all-time high, which was done probably a few days ago, seems like. We blew right through that on the gap up. So there's no more levels for you to add on here. All right, let's take a look at NVIDIA this morning. So if we look at NVIDIA right now, we are up 3.3 on this one. Let's remove some of the older levels so we can get those out the way. There it goes. High of the pre-market is going to be 140.30, so we'll slam one there. And then towards the bottom, we do have the low of the pre-market down at 137.04. Highs and lows for the last two trading days towards the bottom here are doing a pretty good job, plus the previous day close. And then we have this area right on here, which is 139.52. We'll mark that as well. That could be an area of possible support and resistance. Now, as you go to the left here, we are, again, our all-time highs is right over here. Are we over it now? No, 140.74. So we'll mark that there. And then obviously above that, you don't have no other levels. So NVIDIA crushing it this morning, moving really nice. Tons of volume, 13 million shares traded. That is awesome. It's going to be heavily in play today. Next is Apple. So Apple also has been trading pretty nice over the last couple of days. You've seen what we did two days ago, hitting their all-time highs as well. These stocks are just... this market is just up and up and up, one way or the other. Apple here, 234.19 is your high of your pre-market. The low is between some of the highs and lows of the last two trading days and just slightly above the previous day close. We're going to mark it down 232 actually on the penny. And then if you look at previous day close, you have that level right on there as well. So a lot of support and resistance happening right at that level. You have plenty of levels you can use to mark that down. Then towards the top, the highs, of course, from 2 days ago and the high from this pre-market are doing the job. And that's all you really have once you start getting up here. We do have another one right on here at 233.11, worth marking down. Even this morning, we're kind of flirting with back and forth between the high of the pre-market and this 233.11. So I think it's worth noting that in case we do decide to drop here on Apple. Let's take a look at Uber. Uber has been very active the last couple of days. More news continues on this. Let's go down here and move this a little bit higher. Low of the pre-market, 78.50. Our high of our pre-market up at 80.47. So we marked those two. And then towards the top, notice how great these levels look. Highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a great job. And then towards the bottom, you do have a couple of levels here on the daily. We're going to mark a few. Obviously, the big one is going to be 74.35. And another one up here around 76.49. So those are your levels, friends. Let's quickly get you through what the team is watching. Then we'll say bye to Peter because he's going to have to run in 3 minutes here to trade live with the P Capital team. If you want to learn more about P Capital, visit pcapitaltrading.com. Tons of information for you there that you can look at in regards to that program. All right, Peter, let's take us through the moderators list.
So our moderators are going to be watching a lot of the stuff we've been talking about today, starting with Lenny, who's going to be looking at Apple, Nvidia, TSM, SMCI, so very tech heavy, very chip heavy there, Uber and SMR. Megan's watching Uber and AMD, Mike, Nvidia and TSM. Jared, well, he was already watching NIX, and then he's going to watch SMCI, LRCX, a new one there, Nvidia, AMD, Bubba, and TSM. Avi is going to watch, wow, he's got SMCI in his list. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, and Apple. He doesn't normally branch out, but there you go. He's adding SMCI. See what he does with it. Pierre is going to be watching Google, Nvidia, SMCI, Uber, and Apple. I do have two IPOs to potentially let you know about, ORIS and SPHL. We'll see if they open today. I'm going to be watching my usual suspects with AMD, Tesla, and Nvidia, and then I'll also keep an eye on TSM and Uber. Thor is going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, and Affirm, AFRM, and of course the market indices as always. And Brian, I'm not sure what the lickety split is about. but lickety split. He's going to be watching Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, and Meta. I assume that means he's in a jolly mood, and we'll be trading with you today. Now, one thing, every time I say, Carlos, it used to be when you said it all the time. Every time you say things are moving in one direction, you'd mention One Direction, and I would usually put up a picture of the band One Direction. And our people in the room were telling me that one of the One Direction members, Liam Payne, died earlier this week, and pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it was early this week. I thought it was yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah, he fell off his balcony
man.
and died. That's pretty tragic. So condolences to his family. Seems like he was
acting
erratically. And
yeah, he was in a different country. He was visiting some country or something. I forget which
country.
He was
in Argentina. No, where was he?
Was Argentina?
I don't know where he was. Yeah. It was Argentina. Yeah. An interesting statement here from the, it was in Argentina. From the police in Argentina, they said, unfortunately, he had injuries that were incompatible with life. So we had to confirm his death. What? I guess,
like
yes,
Translate.
Injuries that are incompatible with life usually means death, I guess. So that it's just odd statement, it seems like.
Sounds like a
but
bad
anyways,
Google translation.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird terminology.
or somebody's like gone overboard on the political correctness. So he wasn't unalived. That's a whole different thing, but he definitely, unfortunately, his state was incompatible with life. Anyways, all right, all that being said, I do have to get over to live trading. So I want everybody to trade smart out there, trade safe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the Friday. In the meantime, Carlos, we do have some live trading. I think we have both Andrew and Brian with us this morning, or we will soon.
Yeah.
And of course you. So
yeah, they were together yesterday. Test drive, not test driving, but hanging out with the Lamborghini. They were driving around the town yesterday. Andrew sent some pictures. That was really nice. You see Brian and Andrew. Do we got that up? Do we have that picture of Brian and?
Give me 1 second.
I didn't even think to bring that picture this morning. It is out there. We'll give Brent a moment. He can pull that off of our Telegram feed and get it up there. But yeah, he was giving Brian a ride. It's good to see that they survived and didn't do anything crazy in that car. But it's a good looking SUV. But I'm still not. It's still not that. It's not that efficient of an SUV. We'll see how much he likes it after using it for a while. There we go. Duck face, man. Come on, man. No duck face.
Well, it's similar to what the same car he had before, as far as space, right? He had the Range Rover that was a sport one, which is just it's kind of the same space inside. He just got a little more horsepower on this one now. A lot more horsepower.
A lot more horsepower. So, and much higher maintenance bills. But
that's it, man. That's it. But we know he only got it so he can now do a video saying you could be a trader in a 60 days guarantee and be profitable. Now he could use a Lamborghini. You could get one just like me. So
there you go.
We know that's why he got it. He's not a real big car. He always says a big car guy. Friends, we are all set here.
Got it right. See you guys.
Peter. Peter, thanks for covering the morning. I appreciate it, man. I hope you feel much better, especially throughout the weekend. All right, so let's see, friends. So that is our list so far. I have TSM, NVIDIA, Apple, Uber as we wait for Andrew and Brian to come on in and take over the live show this morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. It really helps us out a lot, guys. Trust me, I hate asking for this thing, but it does help out the channel. And we would like to grow this channel and keep it going here live free on YouTube. And hopefully you're finding value out of it, right? So if you are, definitely subscribe. More important that you come and watch us and learn from it. That's more important, so subscribe. But if you have the time to hit the like button, we appreciate it. It's sitting at 181 likes so far this morning. Here's where we are. I always got to refresh sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't pick it up.
It
I think something's wrong with my hair.
Nothing. And also, Andrew,
look at the Adam gang
yesterday. Oh, man. Yeah. Andrew was saying that
hair
he
care.
might bring back the laptop giveaway if we get to 500.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like the laptop. You know what? Well, if you do the laptop giveaway, we got to get the videos. I like seeing the videos of people, with their laptops and then their comments. They're really fun.
I agree.
But look, the ad I'm getting with YouTube. YouTube definitely, the algorithm is off here. I'm getting a hair ad, so that's just a waste of ad right there. But there it is, friends. We're sitting at, where's the likes here? 248 likes so far. 683 people watching. Awesome. So if you can help us get to 300 before the show starts, that is amazing. All right, and with that, I'm just looking at the chat. Good morning, guys. There is Brian. Sign is on. He is ready to rock and roll this morning. Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I am doing well, thank you. Yeah, we were over checking out the car yesterday, driving it around town.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It's well, I mean, it's how would you say this? It's not it's I don't think it's a great city car. We get at the beginning of the block. You get at the beginning of a block, and Andrew puts a foot down, and you hear the engine, and then all of a sudden we have to slow down.
Yes, guys, gotta take it out to the mountains somewhere. Yeah, gotta open that thing up for sure.
Yeah, that's a tease. We didn't get to take it out on the Sea to Sky Highway, which is deadliest highway in North America. Incidentally,
really?
But, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
don't take it on that, please.
Maybe it isn't anymore because they did a lot of work on it.
But is it because of crashes, people falling over? Like, what's going on?
Well, I think it was, a lot of people. Well, it's the road between. It's the only main road between Vancouver and Whistler. And on Sunday night, during the winter they used to call it the Whistler 500 because it would all these people would be racing to get home. And there would be some pretty erratic driving. A lot of the highway is single lane. So if you get somebody who's going slow, it's just like so frustrating.
You're trying to pass them over.
Yeah. People take risks. Yeah, people take risks passing, and it's a windy, so you get a lot of blind corners where you don't know what's coming around the corner. Yeah, people would drive like insane. And eventually create bad accidents. And if you didn't want to get home, you wanted to get home in an hour and a half, and there was an accident, man, you were there 4 or 5 hours. So anyway, yeah. But brutal. It was a fun time. So, all right,
awesome. So Brian, for you this morning, man, what are you watching? What do you like so far? Give us an update on what your morning looks like as far as stocks.
I don't like these mornings where we gap up so much. I mean, Thor could probably comment on this as well, but we're trading outside ranges of a lot of stocks here, and so like if I look at NVIDIA, we're already really outside the range. Same with AMD, probably because of this TSM report. So it's hard. There's new value being established, and it's kind of hard to decide. Hard to see it maybe go higher, but it's definitely. I think there's going to be obviously some buying in the market at the open. So some specific stocks. It's interesting because the yields went up again, I guess, overnight because TLT is down quite a bit. So that means long-term interest rates spiked up again. And that's why the IWM is like underperforming the Qs and the SPY and even the Dow.
Brian, could you share your bookmap with
sure.
chat? And then I really like when you go through bookmap what you're looking at before the market open. That's always helpful.
We can.
Chat, do you find that helpful?
So many things to remember in the morning. Turn
Yeah,
this
tell
on.
me about it.
Turn that on. Make sure you've got the sign on.
Yeah, chat
I
likes
gotta
it. I like it too.
Okay, here we are. So right now we're looking at NVIDIA. You can see here this is VWAP according to bookmap, and sometimes VWAP on DOS doesn't really match up. Depends, I guess, on where you anchor the VWAP from, but that's you've got some big bids here at 141, 142. Let's see if we can. So I'm going to move okay, there we go. It's moving now. Come on. Here we go. Big order at 150, 160. I kind of feel like that's no intention to fill. Be surprised if that went there today. Let's take a look at. Okay, I'm going to ignore that warning. Here's AMD. You can see here we've got some big orders up here, but we're moving the other direction. The book is actually pretty bullish or bearish, I would say. AMD's been struggling the last little while. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's really hasn't done much. It's kind of hanging around this 220. Is that Tesla? That's Tesla. Sorry, did I have Tesla? There's Tesla. Sorry, this thing's running slow this morning. You can see with Tesla, it's kind of hanging around at the VWAP. We do have an order at 224, an order at 225, and we've got a bunch of small orders in here. It's got some orders down here, so it's kind of, it's actually, when this is all a lot of red, it actually means it's more bullish because there's more. This is signifying how many bid asks there are compared to how many bids. There's a lot more asks, so that means it could be going up, not down. So that was pointed out to me by Nathan, who's our blue jacket, bookmap trader. See if we can widen this thing out again. It's starting to respond a little better now. Okay. Apple, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's dropping. Interesting. Apple's dropping a lot right now. It did that yesterday too, dropped before the open. What have we got? 3 minutes. What else? Anybody who want to look at anything else? Got any other tickers you want to look at?
Did you look at Uber?
Yeah, I can look at Uber. I don't think Uber is gonna in some of these less. Well, I guess it's traded actively today because of the Expedia news. I did listen to some news about this. It sounded like it was extremely preliminary, and I think one of the managers of Uber is on Expedia's board, so bit of a conflict there. I guess any votes he'd have to be recused. But you can see Uber's book is, if this is a lot of green, that means it's bearish. Let's see. Yeah, you see you got a lot of orders down here. 179, 178.80. See, it's not exactly, we're trading at 179 or 79.64, and this is at 79. So, and you can see, the great thing about this is you can look at the, where orders get dropped, and you can see here, there was a bigger order here, and they've dropped it. They've reduced it in size. So, Doesn't look like it is shifted down, but
another ticker people were asking for was, let me see if I get this right, SMCI.
All right, we're running out of time here. We'll do SMCI quickly.
Yeah, real quick.
Again, these things will change as soon as the market opens. But again, this is really a lot of bids to the downside, way more than the upside. You got something at 51, big order at 51, but you got orders at 50, 49.80.
Okay,
and we're kind of trading mid-range. Okay. All right. Well, let's watch. Nvidia's selling off. Wow, Tesla just took a big drop. Look at Apple. Apple does this. It'll sell off. I think it's just manipulation. They're just dropping this the shares and then buying it back up here. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. So I'm going to let things settle out here because I really don't know what's going to happen, but Tesla's looking a little weak at this point. Again, that's still nothing. I haven't traded anything yet. I'm still waiting. Seems like Andrew's not going to make it, so if anybody else wants to jump on with me, it'd be good. Qs are continuing to sell a little bit here. Same with the SPY. Again, that's why I find these really strong gap ups. They're hard to figure out where the market's going to go. Like, wow, Tesla's really dropping here. Well, not a lot. It's only down $1.60, but might be going down to. You never know with Tesla. Here's S4 is at 219. We almost got there. Nvidia is going to go back up. Feel like we're going to go to 219 on Tesla. Might be a good place to take an entry. Try an entry at 219.70. See if we get back up to 221. Tesla's had some pretty strong support around here. That's why kind of feeling like it might bounce here. Struggling to get above 220. Some big orders coming in underneath here, so I'm just, I think I might, let's just see where it does. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna take out half at 220. I just don't like the size of the orders below here. But like I said, it just seems to keep finding support here. AMD's bouncing back a bit. All right, no, not going to do it. It's just there's a seller there right at 220. Getting out of it. I'm out of the rest of it. It's flat trade. Kind of was hoping it'd get back to the VWAP, but it's going to maybe come down to 219. IWM's gone red, which is not surprising.
Hi, Paris. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Wow, Apple's dropping pretty hard here.
Okay, I am here. I am short Apple.
Nice. I've been focusing on Tesla, but
So let me share my screen, guys. How are you, Brian? Wow,
good.
I am done, guys. I'm one and done on the day on Apple. What is so TSM?
I'm taking another long on Tesla here at 219. This is PDC and it's also S4, so we'll see if we can get some bounce here. Qs are really selling off. I'm kind of fighting the market here. I'm actually going to get out of this, thinking it's probably it's going to drop.
Sign off the highs after the company.
But Uber, wow, Uber really sold as well. I guess it hasn't sold off that much.
Reports top line revenue forecast of $1 billion on launch year and came into a 5-year estimate between $10 and $14 billion.
So people in the chat room should be able to see my screen. I'm short Apple right now.
Everything's selling off here. Crazy. See, I think
Wow.
like I said, we just opened up in a really
Why resuming and then halted again?
big selling range here.
Apple beauty.
Yeah, Apple's still selling.
I literally caught the top.
Wow. Yeah, like this is really markets are really selling off here. I think it's going to bounce at some point.
So Tesla sold off as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so 230.50 is my area. 220. TSM showcased a little bit of strength, but never continued.
Yeah.
So
Excuse me. Here's the bounces looking for in Tesla. Just had to get Tesla almost always overshoots levels.
So Nvidia had a strong bounce. This is bounce here to fail. It never came out with a good volume.
Yeah, I shorted Tesla right at this 219.70. I might regret that too. See if we can drop back again.
So Apple is, I think I have a level at 230.50. So it's gonna come at 230.50.
Paris, I have somebody in YouTube asking, why did you short Apple? Where you did.
So why I shorted Apple? The reason I shorted Apple was that, first of all, looking at a daily, right? One of the two things that uh, showcased on Apple is that once it break out of the range, it got seriously slammed, and this is what you call as a false breakout on a bigger picture time frame. It did a false breakout, did came back within the range of the breakout, and then now testing the top of the range. For the easiest thing is to understand is, let me take a little bit of partial here, guys. Give me 1 second. It came
I
to
just covered some Tesla at 40 to 1940.
So it came back in the range. So I was thinking that it's a short until proven guilty. So if it holds above this area that it was holding at this point, holds the 230 233.50 area, that's when I would be looking for a long for the break of 234 and break of the range. But it was holding this 233.23 all in the pre-market, but then sold off just before the pre-market, right? And then what I'm doing is it came out of the range and I'm looking at the retest area for me to short. I even went in the pre-market. I went tier one size
Covered
in the
some on
pre-market
Tesla.
and then added heavy when it rejected after it opened. So that was my clear intention for looking for 230.50. 230.50 was my target, which was uh, on a 30-minute time frame. So that was the whole reason. I wanted to add more, but this was the exact time I went to do my hair, so I couldn't add more. So that was
That's important. It's important.
that's important, right? So that's okay if I didn't add more.
You got to look pretty for the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So TSM is coming back, and now it's above 204. So
Qs are
TSM,
bouncing a bit here.
yeah, Nvidia is rejecting.
And NVIDIA rejected 9 EMA.
So TSM is looking like a long.
I'm out of the rest of Tesla. Actually, I flipped my position long on Tesla now. See if looks like it might want to move up again.
Yeah, 220 is 220 is an important level on Tesla. 220.
Yeah.
So TSM,
220.15 is the VWAP.
yeah, I'm thinking of taking a long on TSM if it pulls back a little bit.
Apple's bouncing up a bit.
It never came back just below 204. I want to see it comes back on below 204. I think it's gonna squeeze to 208 TSM. Yeah, 204 held. 204.
Wow, it's a big rejection at 219.98.
Yeah. Yeah, Nvidia is coming back up too. Yeah, TSM is gonna squeeze to the upside. It did not give me an entry to get in. Yeah, 208 is coming. Yeah, I missed that entry on TSM. Wow, it's
Yeah,
now it's 206.
I'm long some. Yeah, I'm long some TSM. Nice.
Yeah. Anybody take TSM in the chat room?
Seems like you're
About
not alone.
giving up on Tesla here. It just doesn't want to.
Very nice.
Just
Very
seems
nice,
like
guys.
it's shock.
Yeah, Tia.
All right, I'm just sticking
So
with a
Nvidia
very
is coming
small
down
position,
now. Yeah.
long position on Tesla, but it's again, I'm not. It's where this 220 level is really tough.
Guys, I'm taking a small long on TSM. I'm taking a small long on TSM. Ah, man, squeezed. Nice.
All right, nice.
I'm long on TSM. Ah, nice, man. Ah,
Oh,
beauty, beauty.
beauty. Yeah, nice. Woo.
Boom,
Yeah. Boom, baby.
boom. 208, guys. 208. I knew 208 was coming.
Wow. Yeah, I just played that with options.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So went from 330 to 450 in a heartbeat.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Anybody take
Tesla's
that with
gonna-
me, guys? That was a nice. 208 is coming. 208 and 210. 210 could come too, but 208 was my target. 208 area.
Okay, Tesla's coming back up to retest this level again.
Awesome, awesome, guys.
Nice grab on TSM. I wasn't watching that. Apple's kind of bouncing back. Q's and SPY kind of bouncing back here.
So TSM goes to 208. And I'm like, so people who think that it's a random, it's of course you wanna, adapt to what market conditions are. But I always had a plan. I have a proof for it today. So this morning, Shahala from the BBT chat room, she requested to if what's my target on this. If you see on my chart, I said interested in TSM long if 204 holds to 208 210. If you see this is exactly this was my plan on 204 if it holds, and 208 and 210. Now it's 208, and this is exactly 204. I was interested in it, held the 204 area, and now it's going to 208.
Nice.
So it's all plan. You're planning it beforehand, and you're all you're doing is you're executing it when the things show up the way you are thinking. So
Just I'm selling a bit more Tesla here to 1995. Here we go. Whoa, here we go. Whoa. All right. I got a better fill.
Very nice, Brian.
Look at that. Eventually broke out. There we go.
Okay, selling some more on
Yeah,
207.91 on
yeah,
TSM.
selling more on Tesla. 220.30. This is a 920. We're at 20 EMA.
What a great day, to be honest. I'll explain why 204. There is a reason why 204. So the reason of me looking at 204 comes from a price action standpoint. So from price action standpoint, if you look at it, the stock on a what do you call, on a big picture time frame, on a 30-minute, the 200 becomes a support. It held bounce from 200, and in the pre-market, 203 becomes the support. It's bouncing from the 203. However, if you look at the what do you call, look at the in shorter time frame, which is a 1-minute time frame. This is, let me bring up the Epic pen.
NVIDIA's got a whole bunch of orders to the upside. Sorry, go ahead, Paris.
So yeah, sorry, Brian. So if you look at this thing, right, what is it happening? So 203 is of course that level. Now, how do I know that the price action or the character of a stock is more bullish than bearish? It is when it claims the important, like this trend, and when it claims above this, and when it holds above this area. Because so far in a shorter picture time frame, this is trending down. But how do I know how is it now the trend has changed? When it claims this and holds above the important price levels, which is like the change of the trend cycles. And that's why 204 was important to me. That if it holds the 204 area, a lot of people would get in, confirming on the trend change. Nice, 208, guys, 208.
I'm sitting at $5 for the rest of my my 205 calls.
So now same with Tesla. So Tesla is, if you look at it, 220 is an important inflection level. So 220, 221 area is where it has to claim the 220 and hold above 220 for it to think about long. And Brian, I'm glad you are in. I think it's gonna work in your favor. So
yeah, that was awesome pickup. Like I said, I wasn't watching it, so it's the power of the chat room. It's just people grab things. Come on, we're close to $5 on these now. $4.95.
So 208.
Here we go.
Yeah. Beauty.
Just
beauty.
Just got
260.
Here we go. SMCI. What's geez. Super micro. I think I don't know why it's dropping.
So now my final exit is gonna be at 210. That's awesome, Gabriel.
So Tesla's still struggling to get above the 20 EMA. Again, just sort of like a 920 here, but it's holding though. It's holding above the 9, which
209, beauty. Selling some at 209. Final exit at 210.
Yeah, I wish I had more, because now we're trading at 560 on these things. Oh well. Yeah, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA just blew through 140. Big volume too. The volume here.
Yeah, NVIDIA squeezed as well. Very nice. Wow. Semis are crazy. Semis are So Lenny is into Nvidia. Awesome, Lenny, beautiful. Or same with the Pierre as well. So awesome, man. The patience of holding to those levels, crazy, bro. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing how you can hold for a longer time. So, man, what a volume. See the tape, guys? There's the tape on Nvidia. Every single minute, it's doing close to 2 million shares.
Yeah.
Every minute. Wow. I love this volume. What is Tesla doing? Tesla is still in a very tight range. It tries to break the 222, 221 area, but never is able to break it. So it will find a lot of resistance until and unless it holds the 222. So for me to go long, it has to hold 222. And that is too far away right now.
You still have a position in Apple?
No. Apple, I'm all out.
Apple's right at PDC. Man, that was a rejection right at R4 on Apple just before it rolled over.
Actually, Apple is actually looking like it doesn't have strength to go long. So Apple is looking more like a short.
Yeah.
But TSM is offering me everything that I need. So TSM is looking for 210.
Let's take a look at it on bookmap.
I had OKLO as well in my this thing.
OKLO. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's sold off. Yeah.
yeah. OKLO had a really nice rally yesterday. The SMR and
Yeah.
OKLO have been today could just be a day of
Yeah, I know.
consolidation.
Yeah, I had
Wow. So
that on
Nvidia
my
dropped really bad right now.
I was going to say I had that. I had that in my swing trade review, and
Wow.
took it long, and it almost got stopped out of it. It was started to sell off that one after I took a position in it, and I was going to
Ah,
stop
man,
out
that
at
was a
$9.
wow. Nvidia is dropping,
Anyway,
guys, man. So TSM is also showcasing some, but this Nvidia is gonna drop now. Man, should
wow,
I get in?
the Qs just dropped a lot here. They kind of rejected at the VWAP.
Yeah,
Same
not
with
a
the
great.
SPY. Do we have any news this morning? We've got. I lose track of
So
time. This is Thursday. We had 9:50. No, what is it? 9:15. We've got industrial production. 10 o'clock. We've got business inventories, and it's not 10 o'clock yet.
man, what a volume on Nvidia right now. It did bounce, but I am looking for a short on Nvidia. If it rejects the 140 area, I'll short it. Uh, it never gave me that level. Okay, I think I'll have to get out on TSM. Uh, I think the SMEs are selling off. So I'm getting out of TSM. I'm all out on TSM. Uh, So Nvidia, I wanted to short Nvidia. So oh man, Nvidia. Man, this is gonna drop to the low of the day, Nvidia. Give me a pullback, Nvidia. TSM is holding pretty well though, even though Nvidia is selling.
Yeah, yeah. Tesla dropped hard and then came back up. AMD is what's AMD doing? AMD's
Yeah, that's
wow. AMD had a look at that. Wow. Yeah, TSM. There is a big order at 210.
so.
Tesla's
Yeah,
trying to come
sometimes
back up.
I had a target of 210, but it went to 2970 area, but it showed me weakness and the semis were selling. So it's not like that 210 is an area, right? So sometimes if it comes close and if it shows weakness, there is no reason for me to be a part of it if it shows weakness. And for me, it gave me an indication to sell off, like to sell the entire position. I don't have to be stubborn about what my target is. My a target is usually the area. So that's why I got out of it, and it was like not completely off. It showcased me a weakness, and I'm glad I'm out. And now you see that entire semiconductor was selling, and now you see this drop. Like it saved me from just being stubborn about hitting that 210. It would have easily stopped me out at break even right now, like so you have to adapt to the market, what market information is giving you. But Nvidia, I missed a shot. I was waiting for the 140 rejection, and it did come to 139.73. So that did not materialize. So I'm in no position right now. What is Apple doing? Man, Nvidia, what a beautiful
Yeah,
sell-off.
right back down to area where it could find support at this 138.30 ish.
Anybody take that
Where it
Nvidia
pulled back.
shot? Man, what a miss on this one. Very nice, Jared, John, beauty. Oh, oh, sorry. I
Let's
was
go.
I was shocked. John took a shot. He didn't. Sorry. Uh,
And Pierre is short Google. Nice
man,
BT.
Nvidia.
All right, Suzanne. Good one. Good Privet. Way to go.
Very nice. At zero. Beautiful. John says, "What's a shot?" Uh, so what is? So Apple is looking. Apple is looking nothing.
Wow. So we've come back to yesterday's high. We're just bouncing off that now.
So TSM is now looking like a short, but I wouldn't short it. Not in my best interest.
Oh, yeah, it would be a hard short here. I mean, it came back. It actually did a 920. It came pulled on that pullback, came back right to the
Oh yeah,
20
yeah,
EMA.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's a
and now
perfect
it's
920.
bouncing. Yeah, and now it's back at the 9. So this is the first area. If you were going to play that first area, you'd take profits. Second area, if it kept going higher, would be back at pretty close to high of day.
Yes. Nvidia is now doing a pullback, and I'm not interested in this pullback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might.
One-
Yeah, it might reject.
yeah, 140 area would have been a great shot, but never gave me that opportunity. What is Uber doing? Did Uber do something?
Yeah, Uber's been dropping some more here. Wow, the yields are really going up. TLT started at around 70 or 80 cents down, and now it's down a $1.40. That's a big move on yields. So there's something going on there. People are concerned about inflation, or at least the bond market is saying that.
Nvidia still has a very good volume. Uh, Uber is doing nothing, to be honest. TSM is in the area, either it's gonna go up or go down. So I think it's gonna go up. It looks like it wants to go up. Yeah, the tape was bullish. Now it's gonna go up. RAF, yeah, can go one or the other way. But I think it has a complete possibility that it goes to 210 right now. I think the volume is coming in.
Yeah, it's coming back up. See, that's why it's hard to, really dangerous to short a strong stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, they pullbacks off and
that
get
was
bounced back.
yeah, that turned out to be a perfect 920 trade, Brian. What a
Yeah, I know.
literally bounce
I
from
know. I missed
920.
that. Missed that one. Thor, what did Thor do here? Oh, he took a short on the Google. Nice. Beauty.
Bro,
What
Thor,
was
you
that?
added. Awesome,
Yeah,
Thor.
look at that.
Usually
Like
Thor doesn't add, but that is awesome.
that's Thor's bread and butter trade there. R3 to S3. Ooh, nice one.
Very nice, very nice.
Ooh,
Thor.
beauty, yeah. Very nice.
So, yeah, people in the chat room are asking, how did I get the 208, 210 level? So, one of the common ways of price action when a big cap company is usually gaps up and it's gaps up 8 to 9%, they have a tendency to move to 11, 12%, and then settle down to 10% or something when they're up on a specific news. And a big company like TSM, so the stock was already gapped up 8 or 9%, and I was betting on the fact that it goes to 12% and then come back, and that's where I came with 210 area. So I was anticipating that it would go to, like, currently it's at 11.3%, right? So at 210 would turn out to be 12%. So that was usually my thesis, that usually big cap companies, they tend to go to, if they're gapped up on a very positive news, they tend to go to 12%, 10 to 12%, and that's how I came up with that number. And I talk about that in the very frequently, that they're gapped up for a reason. If they're gapped up 8 to 9%, they tend to go to 12%, but they'll eventually close around the same 9-10% area and find a value area. So Nvidia is now
TSM
again
looks.
selling off.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that! Wow, Nvidia dropped again. The Qs are dropping again.
Man, I'm getting that FOMO on Nvidia. Oh, Nvidia dropped.
I know. I saw that. The Qs dropped again here. They're again back to low of day. Just looking for a trade here. I don't see anything I really keen on. Wow, Tesla's back at low of day too.
Yeah, Apple seems like it wants to sell off. So
Yeah, maybe, eh?
man, TSM is strong. Even though Nvidia is selling, TSM looks like it wants to go to 210.
Yeah, it's there. There's still a big order there. If you look at, we're looking at bookmap. Okay, we've retested yesterday's high again on the Qs.
Yeah, Tesla sold off too. Tesla made the new
Yeah,
low of the day.
yeah. Tesla really dropped here. Huh. Wonder if Apple's going to retest the low of day here. Bouncing again in the Qs and the SPY.
I'm thinking of getting in TSM again. The risk reward isn't there much, but I think it goes to 210 today. The order flow is very bullish. This could be a bad entry right now. Okay, I'm taking a long on TSM. Let's
I don't know if I
see.
want to take another long. Kind of already had a good day with that first options trade, so not.
Long on TSM. Let's see if it holds or drops.
To me, the markets are still in a downtrend. We're trading below the 9 EMA, which is sloping down. So that's my gauge as to which direction the market's going. At this point, we haven't we haven't gone from bearish to bullish yet.
Yeah, it's gonna stop me out now. That wasn't a good trade.
Amazon's really Amazon's been struggling here too. Amazon would have been another good R4 to S3 trade here. Apple's bouncing back up. Look at that. The SPY and the Q's bouncing. Now we've broken trend. Meta had an announcement they're cutting their workforce.
Yeah, I saw that too. TSM is maybe I'm not in the. TSM seems like it wants to do a little deeper pullback.
It's right now. On a 2-minute chart, it's building a wedge. So that's positive. I mean, at the what is it? This 209 level, 208.50. If it can break through there, it could easily go to 210.
Yeah, and I'm looking. I added more on TSM, guys. Added more on TSM. It is not giving me that indication, but I'm trying to get my average in a better shape. I think 208.50 is there is a seller at 208.50, and if that breaks, then we should be in the money, but it doesn't seem like. So
Nvidia is crawling back up here.
let's see. This is the chance for TSM to see if it pops up. I can get out at break even if I want to. So 208.50 is a seller, but it has to lift. 208.44, 208.50. I hope it doesn't sell from here. Now pop, 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 pop. Beauty.
Here we go. Yeah.
Beauty. Just selling a little bit.
Yeah.
Just. But now it goes to 210. Nice.
See, that was the that break of the wedge. Nice.
Yeah. So now it wants to hold the 208.50. It should not come back below 208.50. I would not like if it comes back below 208.50.
Let's see what happens here with the indexes. We're getting up to the 20 EMA, so we'll see if we can see what happens here.
Yeah, thank you, Amos. Thank you. Glad you caught the Nvidia. Now this thing is going to 210, guys. This is gonna break the high of the day, and it is going to 210. If it comes below 208.50, then I'm gonna be out. I don't like if it doesn't hold the 208.50 area.
Here, let's see what the indexes do here.
I think it's gonna squeeze to 210. It's bullish. It's bullish.
Yeah, it's bullish. Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, that wedge formation was a really nice setup for a breakout.
Yeah.
Hey, Paris and Brian. Just
Yes.
letting you guys know in 10 minutes on YouTube, we're going to have Eamon. And
All right.
yeah, he's going to talk about.
Boom, boom, guys, boom. Broke the high of the day.
Nice. He's going to talk about how to trade breakouts.
All right. There you go.
Did anybody
That's
take
a
that,
good
guys?
example right there.
TSM was amazing.
Yeah. And this is a complete illustration of why you don't, why you be careful about trading shorting strong stocks.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
that was a pretty significant pullback, but, you know, buyers came right back in.
210. Break that 210. What a day turned out. Very nice.
Yeah. Pretty good day.
210. I will, like Andrew says, wait for the history. What does he say? Wait for the history?
Yeah. You want to be part of history.
Be part of the history, yeah. Yes. So, 210, guys.
Oh, there you go. 210. There we go. We had the breaking glass thing and everything.
Opa.
Yeah. Break out the Ritzina.
Awesome.
Look
So,
at this. We're just we're bouncing back here. Wow, look at Tesla. God, just came right back up. Nvidia right back up. Nice double bottom on the Qs.
so Tesla came back. It's above 220. Nvidia had a good bounce as well.
Yeah.
So, like, if you are a big picture trader, this is the area where you would struggle a lot. Like, this is the area where it would help you to be a momentum trader, like a momentum as in understand the momentum, understand the volume, understand the order flow, see the volume, and be a scalper. So the benefit of being a scalper or knowing that skill of being a scalper is that you could like you could be a big picture trader or a swing trader or a an intraday long hold trader, but the scalper, being a scalper or understanding the momentum to take in you'll keep running your you'll always keep ringing your register. You can hit the bases being a scalper and keep your basic PNL running and then capture a bigger move as a big picture trader. So a lot of people say, should I be a big picture trader or something? I recommend, if your natural instinct allows you to be a big picture trader, go for it. But always, like, this is a skill.
Yeah.
Being able to get in and get out of the position and scalp around positions and keep that register ringing. That's a skill to have it, because sometimes in a big picture standpoint, you might not be able to see or find those setups for sometimes even days. And what do you do? How do you ring your register if you are not able to capture those daily wins here and there? So I'm selling some on TSM. So TSM 21050. So very strong price action on TSM. Yeah, trading around the core. That's a beautiful, like, this is one of the things that Megan is also suggesting, that you have to trade
Wow.
around the core. A lot of times I would get into a position to and add sorry, go to the position and swing the 10% or 20% of my position, but I would trade around the core. I would get into a long position, sell some, and then at a pullback I'll add more. But I'm trading around the core. I'm selling on the anything above the core, and taking profits. I'm keeping my register ringing. So 211 is coming, guys. Wow, TSM is strong.
Yeah. There's some orders here at 211.
I can
Orders
imagine
at
Andrew
2.
making a payment for another Lambo today. So what is Tesla doing? Yeah, I'm not a buyer until it holds 222. So Tesla, I'm not gonna touch it.
No,
And it doesn't have
there's
a great volume
211.
either. Yeah. Or 211, guys. 211 on TSM.
Yeah,
211
there's
on TSM.
211. Yeah. It looks like Nvidia is going to go to 140 again. Some big orders at 141.
Wow, man. TSM just doesn't stop. It just wants to go.
Yeah, it's just when a stock gets going like this, it's just the momentum traders just going crazy.
And one of the things that I want to highlight in the chat room, guys, like, if you look at it, my exit position on my first trade right here is 208.50, and my entry position on my second trade is also 208.50 area. So at one point as a day trader, it might look bearish, but on the second point it
Yeah.
might look bullish. So as a day trader, you are always adapting to the new information that you're getting. And in this case, I felt it was a bullish, but while exiting on my position, I felt that was bearish. So that's why you are adapting, and as and when more candles show up, you're analyzing the price action at that point, and then trying to see if gives you a great risk reward setup or not. So
And
yeah,
Q's
SPY
just
is
Q's just rejected the VWAP big time.
yeah. TSM doesn't shows, like, Qs and SPY drop, but TSM is not even budging a little bit. So TSM
No,
still has a
TSM is its own. It's doing its own thing today.
Yeah, and these are the stocks you absolutely want to trade. They have their own catalyst, they have their news, they have
Yeah.
their, individual. So they're not looking for a SPY or a Qs to trade its direction. They're gonna have their own set of own buyers and sellers.
Okay, Paris and Brian, one more minute until we switch the Amen on YouTube. If you guys want, you can go back into the BBT chat room.
All right.
Continue trading there, but let's wrap things up for YouTube.
Perfect. Okay. Hey guys, have a good rest of the day. I hope everyone caught some opportunities for trades. Always great to trade with Paris. So Paris, have a good rest of your morning.
Awesome.
Hair is looking great. Much better than mine.
No, thank you, Brian. And yeah, it was great trading with you as well. I think you caught a really nice move on Tesla
Yeah.
and Nvidia as well. So,
Yeah, I got a nice
kudos to you.
move
And
on TSM. Thanks to you. Cheers, man.
Yeah, thank you,
cheers.
Paris, for coming on.
And guys, there's a question on the YouTube about the tape. Check out the Trading Terminal Academy section. There's a full-fledged course on the tape, so check that out. You would find a lot of value information right there. So, take care, YouTube. Please throw a like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the chat room. Yeah, take it over, Brian.
Will do. Sorry, one sec. Just have to get Eamon back. There we go. Okay. Eamon, it's all yours. Welcome.
Explain to you how I trade breakouts with success. This is one of the easiest strategies when everything is aligning. The difficult part is to find something that meets all the criteria, but when it's there, the success rate and the win rate is amazing, at least for me. Obviously, I can't explain the whole strategy in 10 minutes, but I'll try to keep it short, straightforward, and simple. First thing you need to do is look for a daily chart that looks clean. What is a clean daily chart? A clean daily chart is a chart where the market is either trending or the market is just breaking out of a range. Looking at this Amazon around here, you could see that there was some sort of a range around here, and we did break that range. That's why I believe that looking at this daily chart, there is no way we're going to go to the downside. Most probably we are going to go to the upside. I'm done with the daily chart. I know that today looks good for a long. I then move on to the 60-minute chart. And what do I look for on the 60-minute chart? On the 60-minute chart, I want to see a small range, a small tight range, a range where there is a candle sitting inside a candle. Look at this, a candle, inside 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 a candle, around yesterday's high. Clean daily chart, clean 60-minute chart where there is a range, where you have a candle sitting inside a candle around yesterday's high. That's the second criteria. And then I move on to the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, you want to see something similar to the 60-minute chart, a small range on the 5-minute chart around the pre-market high. And ideally, you want this whole price action to be around yesterday's high. Note these, guys. You want to catch the breakout in the beginning of the daily move, right after the chart breakout. Then you want that to happen in the beginning of the 60-minute chart, right before the breakout around yesterday's high. You also want that to happen in the beginning of the 5-minute chart, first, second, 5-minute candle, right at the breakout area. Finally, we'll look at the 1-minute chart just to have the tight stop loss and the trigger to jump into the trade. Small bullish candle, for example, a hammer, and then you play a 1-minute open range breakout, or right at the open at the break of the mini range. After that, it's all trade management and it's all just holding on to a winner. Let me share with you a couple more examples just to make sure that it all sticks in. Clean daily chart. We're having some sort of an ABCD pattern on Apple with a previous bullish day. Daily chart is there. Small 60-minute range. There it is around here. Ideally around yesterday's high. Obviously, the perfect entry or the A+ entry is the moment we break the pre-market high or yesterday's high, but you could always pre-enter This is discretionary and it depends on your trading style. Small range on the 5-minute chart that coincides around yesterday's high. And there we'll play the breakout around yesterday's high. Finally, 1-minute chart. 1-minute up-in range breakout or a break of the pre-market high. One more example. Clean daily chart where we're just breaking a range. 1. Small range on the 60-minute chart. 2. Small range on the 5-minute chart. Ideally at the breakout, but you can enter before. And then a 1-minute up-in range breakout or something like that. It's that simple. 4 simple criteria where you catch the move in the beginning of the trend on all the time frames. The difficult part is finding stocks like this. So let me ask you that question, guys. How do you think we can find stocks that look ideal for a breakout setup? Any suggestions? Any ideas? I mean, the trade is pretty much simple, but how do you find stocks for it? Scan. Good. I mean, you could create scanners. For those who are using scanners or good at them, you can make something like that. Moving averages. Yeah, you could use as even scanner based on moving averages. I'm trying to keep it simple because, you know, guys, my trading style is pretty much simple. And what I do is I'll use my list of stocks. There it is around here. A list of 100 stocks that I go through every day or maybe every week. And I go through all of them one by one. I just scroll through them in the pre-market, maybe on the previous day. And I try to find stocks that have good daily chart. When I see that there is something that looks good on all the time frames, I just pick it up, keep it on my chart, and I play it. For example, one of the best stocks that I had today, unfortunately not for a breakout, but it was good for a channel play. A channel play that we talked about on our 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Really beautiful and nice clean range on the 60-minute chart. What do? I play it closer to the low and I target the middle. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Now for breakouts, where do you place your stop loss? Beautiful question. When we play these breakouts, your stop loss depends on your entry. If you enter at the breakout of the range like we do around here, you could either use the middle of the range as your stop loss, or you manage your trade based on the 1-minute chart. For example, when we play a 1-minute up-in range breakout, our stop loss is the low of the 1-minute candle. My battery died, guys. Sorry about that, but I'm still here. I think you can hear me loud and clear. Anyway, you can play a 1-minute up-in range breakout, and if you play a 1-minute up-in range breakout, then your stop loss is the low of the 1-minute candle. If you play a 5-minute up-in range breakout, then probably you want to have your stop loss at the low of the body on the 5-minute chart. The key to playing these breakouts is to play the breakout. This breakout could happen on the very first minute. It could happen after 5 minutes. It could happen even later, like Meta around here. You could see the breakout happened around 10:30. And obviously, if you play this breakout around 10:30, you might want to use at least the middle of the range as your stop loss. Timing is also important. Oh, there am I. I'm a cat now. Okay, that's perfect. Smart cat. All right, so let's continue. Ayman, what's your nationality? I'm an Arab, but I trade from Russia. Ayman, do you pay attention to volume in pre-market to select stocks? No, I don't care about volume in the pre-market. I care about the bigger picture. Daily, 60-minute chart, overall price action, direction, and I draw levels. Obviously, I do care about the price, the stock getting liquid after the market open. I need to make sure that after the market open, there is enough volume and I can get filled with the amount of share size that I need to get filled in. For that, I take a look at the price action on the previous day and maybe a couple days ago. Make sure that there is enough volume. The list of stocks that I have is liquid. Most of the time, after the market is opening, they do get volume. You've been seeing but missing those. These are the best, by the way. I mean, you don't see them often, but the key is not to find a setup that happens every day 5-10 times. It's about finding a high quality setup. Thank you, Titan. I really appreciate it. Ayman, can you share your social media contact? Yes, I will. How do I type it? It's Ayman BBT on X. I will type it here and hopefully one of the mods can type it in the chat on YouTube or in the chat room. It's at Ayman BBT on X. Does CLOV meet your criteria today? Let's take a look at CLOV. CLOV. Does it meet my criteria for today? Beautiful. I like it. There is our nice trending daily chart. What I don't like about CLOV is the fact that it gapped up. I usually love seeing that the stock opens around yesterday's high. Remember, we discussed that. A good range on the 60 with a good daily chart, and ideally a pre-market range around yesterday's high. But that's not a must. This is the A plus setup. You can obviously play CLOV because there is a range, there it is, that unfortunately does not coincide with yesterday's high. It's still good enough. But when you go for these type of breakouts, you don't go for really big trends. You go just for momentum play. For example, on CLOV case, we would be playing a 1 minute opinion range breakout or 2 minutes opinion range breakouts. That's still a good thing. And if I share with you my charts, you'll notice that, yes, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I still play these type of stocks that do not coincide with yesterday's high. Maybe after the gap or something like that. But I do target the 60-minute candle. Awesome, guys. All right. So I hope this information was helpful. I hope I did not miss any questions. If you guys get any more questions, feel free to email me, ayman@bearbultraders.com. My main strategies are channel plays, breakouts, pinpoints, and parabolic reversals. 4 strategies. They all align with each other because I use the style of multiple time frame analysis. I trade based on price action, but it's a systematic trading style. It's not random and it's not based on feelings on hunches. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you, I guess, in 2 weeks again.
Thank you, Eamon. Have a good day.
Thank you.